This guy sat right next to me is Jack Draper, current world number 7 and the most recent Masters 1000 champion right here in Indian Wells. But why? Well, over the past few years, I've had the opportunity to play against many of the world's top players, including Tsitsipas, Musetti, Popyrin, and many more. Now, this got me thinking, could I challenge every top 100 player to a match? How many would I win? What could I learn from them? And finally, who's going to be the toughest to beat? Well, I'm introducing 100 vs 1, a new series on this channel, of course, alongside my journey, where I'm going to be competing against the world's best players, picking their brains, and seeing just how many of them I might be able to beat. And if you're excited, please subscribe. Now, me and Jack practiced together back in 2022, and within a 30-minute training session, I could tell this guy was special. Now, I also did notice we both came from Surrey in the UK, we both play tennis, we both play with the same racket, but that's pretty much where the similarities end. Now, as someone who's trying to make it to the best 1,000 tennis players in the world, would I even stand a chance against one of the world's best players? Let's find out. And we're starting the journey today at 11 AM in Indian Wells, where I was filming with Dunlop. Now, it was extremely windy on this first day of filming, and my first opponent of the day was Kecmanovic. World number 48, former world number 27, he just won an ATP title in Delray Beach and also just switched to my racket. Now I was going to be challenging him to a 10-point breaker, and these conditions were brutal. Now, neither of us obviously were going to be able to compete at our top level, but this was about adaptation. On YouTube here, we're not playing for prize money, we're not playing for ATP points, we're playing for fun, and we're also playing for pride, and we're going to be figuring out a way to win. That's the main thing. Now, as you can see me here, trying to figure out some crazy ways to serve in the wind, and we're going to go straight into this tiebreak to 10 here against Mischker. I knew the slice was going to be super important, really trying to just move around the court. The court that Dunlop had booked had kind of pickleball lines on them, which I wasn't a big fan of, but we had to work around it. Really trying to go there, crazy with the wide serve, hitting that ball right to my feet, and that ball somehow travelling wide. There's a bit of a crosswind on this court, as you can see, crazily to the left, using that to get a forehand winner on that point. And really, again here, trying to just get ready for the session later to come with the main man, Jack Draper. So definitely wanted to get this tiebreak in, more as a practice exercise to see kind of, you know, really how difficult it was going to be later. And already trying again here with the serve and volley. Serve and volley is extremely difficult in these crazy windy conditions. Got a bit mad at that one. The ball is literally moving like crazy. It almost doesn't come across that crazy on the video, but as you can see, we're both just trying to adapt as much as possible here. Mischker going up with an early lead, 8-4, needing to try and mount a comeback in this one. And that failed spectacularly. I'm going to blame that on the wind. But in all honesty, 8-5 down here, trying to go for big 1-2 punches, trying to just mount a little comeback here. I felt Mischker was being super consistent. Obviously, you know, he's playing cautiously, but if I put a bit of pressure on him, he was beginning to break down. And we're back to 8-all here in this tiebreak. The slow serve actually being super effective. And look how much that ball's moving in the air, trying to go with the slice to just kind of mix it up and down the middle. He pulls the trigger. I was very, very leading on that call, guys. But nevertheless, 9-8 down. What even is that? And mistiming that ball. And I lose 10-8. And so 10-8 to Kecmanovic. We're going to check him off the list on the 100 vs 1. A bit of a scuffed tiebreak, but a close one nonetheless. Also, guys, we're on the road to 250,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy this content, then please go and smash that subscribe button. And so in the afternoon, Jack turned up to do some filming with the Dunlop guys, and we jumped straight on court for the warm-up. Now, he actually mentioned that potentially we should film at another time because of how windy it was, but I didn't want to give up this opportunity to play some points against him, be on court, and just to kind of see his level. Now, we started off with a couple of practice points because it was extremely gusty. Obviously, not the conditions I wanted to play against him in, but would I rather play against Jack Draper or not? Okay, it's an easy question. One thing you notice with Jack is just how effortlessly he plays. Of course, combating the kind of crazy conditions with the slice, but every time he had an opportunity to really hit the ball, he really kind of went big on it, and I could feel his kind of presence. I felt like I had to do a little bit too much, like I was over forcing it. Of course, in these tie breaks, it's the only session that you've kind of got in the day, so you really want to just feel the ball a little bit. Neither of us have done a proper match warm up.
Nice one.
Who is your favourite player currently playing? Actually, no, he could be retired.
It's got to be Rafa. I mean, I loved watching Andy. I loved watching TM when I was younger. But Rafa, I mean, just like, I'd get really pumped every time he would be scheduled to play.
And now it was time. Tie break to 7 to decide it all. A tactical masterclass, hopefully from both of us, to try and combat the wind. We're not going to be serving huge. We're not going to be hitting huge. We're going to be biding our time and looking for a chance to strike. Now, good first point here, just overcooking it on the forehand a little bit. The adrenaline was absolutely pumping. I could feel my heart going super, super quick. So I was really just trying to put the balls in court. It's obviously difficult when you're filming and playing at the same time because, you know, you're focusing on content and, of course, actually playing. But that's the beauty of these videos. You never know what's going to happen, and it's all about adaptation. As you can see there, Jack slice into the net. Very unusual for a player of his level, but that's the conditions. And in a way, these are the conditions that I needed to stand a chance, to be honest. Now 3-1 Jack on serve here, really looking to do a bit of damage. I come forward to the net, can't quite make that ball, and also go for the underarm there. Second serve into his forehand side, and he pushes it long.
Let's say your life's on the line. You could choose one tennis player to play a match to save your life. Who are you choosing?
On any court.
You can choose the surface and the player.
Well, I'd say Rafa on the clay, but if I wasn't going to say that, I'd say Djokovic any day of the week.
You've played some pretty big matches on some big courts against some good players. What would you say so far in your career has been the hardest opponent that you've faced, like on that given day?
A couple of years ago, I played Alcaraz here in Indian Wells. I was injured, so I had to pull out in the second set. But like what was coming at me like that day, like I hadn't experienced a level of tennis higher than that. When I was playing against Carlos that day, like I was hitting really, I think, big balls. And he was kind of just stepping in and just lacing a winner past me, and it was just like I hadn't experienced that quality before.
I'm back to the action here at 4-2, going with a big serve into Jack's backhand, ripping it back cross court. And as you can see, when you go for it almost in these conditions, it becomes very, very tricky. And at 4-3, I get a double fault. 4-all, huge point here. This is the difference between a mini break to potentially serve it out. Jack utilising the chisel a little bit, and it does go long. And then we go 5-4 up on serve. Honestly, I've never felt so tight to try and win a tie break. And I get a net cord, exactly what the doctor ordered, with 2 match points now. And I double fault. And I overcook a forehand. That was not the plan.
Obviously, Alcaraz and Sinner are probably two of the top guys at the moment. Can you just explain how insane these guys are, actually competing against them?
I think they're obviously unbelievable players. I mean, when I first come onto the tour, I was thinking oh my God, they're outrageous. You know, they're not going to do anything wrong. But I mean, even the best players in the world make mistakes still, and they can have ups and downs. The level of tennis they play is obviously very high, but the difference actually between say 10 in the world to 300, it's not crazy, you know. But it's just their experience, mental resilience to go again and again every single point and not let their level dip. And obviously, I think the best players are the best movers, and those guys really do stand out as being probably the best movers in the world.
I hoped you were going to say that they weren't that much better, because I made a prediction kind of at the beginning of last year, and I was saying to everyone that I thought you were going to be, I said top 10.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Obviously, yeah, exactly, you're nearly there. So I think that's just testament to obviously a lot of the hard work that you've put in. I remember watching you play quite a few matches, you were struggling physically with quite a few things. I just wanted to say I was very impressed with your work ethic. I see on your Instagram you putting in so much work.
Thank you.
Off the court. What would you say has been one of the biggest drivers for why you've had that dedication, that drive?
I love tennis. I've been obviously playing tennis since I was young, but I think tennis in general gives me a amazing purpose. The purpose of doing anything is to work hard at it. Obviously there's a lot of ups and downs, especially in tennis. For me, it gives me a lot of motivation and a lot of inspiration on a daily basis that I'm able to go and do something which is not only incredibly difficult, but I can also get a lot of joy from as well, and that kind of craziness of the ups and downs of the emotions, it makes me feel alive. And obviously I'm still far away from where I want to be, but it's just hard work day in, day out, trying to do all the right things, just trying to get better all the time. That's the main thing.
6-all here. We're going to be playing 2 clear. Absolutely massive point now, watching it back. You can see Jack just trying to put balls in play. He was actually a lot more invested in this tie break than I thought he was going to be. And I make the error, and now he's got a match point. Seven-all, big serve down the tee, looking to get on that forehand. Go for the drop shot. Wasn't quite as much as I'd hoped for. Get the lob over him, and the ball just stops in the air. gives him a nice winner shot, and Jack's on serve now for a match point. And I give it to him and lose it 9-7.
When you're a kid, like, you think about your career and you think, okay, if I can do that one thing, then I've like made it, I've achieved that pinnacle of where I believe that, you know, I could have been.
When I was younger, like, obviously everyone, when they start playing tennis, they're like, I want to be number one in the world, I want to win Wimbledon. Like, in all honesty, my goal is to keep on improving and doing the thing I love to do, you know, because at the start of last year, say, like, you know, someone was to say to me, you made the semis at US Open and you finished top 15 in the world and all those sort of things, I'd be, wow, like, I'd be so happy, you know. But in all honesty, I get to the end of the year, I'm in that position and I'm already looking forward to what I feel in my own mind I need to do for the next year. And
that's a very valid point.
For me, it's not really about necessarily the winning. The pride and everything comes from actually, like, just working hard on a daily basis, enjoying that, and also being in a sport where it's so full on, just trying to detach yourself, and then when you do need to work, but then also have fun off the court as well. So I just say, like, I'm almost living out my dream now because I'm doing all those things.
I mean, that's a great answer. I mean, the one thing I can relate to that is, like, when I was trying to get my first ATP point, like the whole YouTube thing was like trying to get my first point. And for me, at the time, it was like, wow, this is like this amazing goal. And then when you achieve it, you're like, I actually don't love the ATP point. I love the process of 100%. Working and improving. And even now, like, still, you know, not where I want to be, you know, from a rankings perspective. I know the game's improving, but it's like you said, that continuous daily, you know, effort to improve yourself and like 100%. Also prove to yourself like what you can do.
Everyone's on a different journey. Like Alcaraz, Sinner, like, I'm not comparing myself to those guys. They're different to me. Same with so many players, but it's all about, you know, what you have, and then just knowing that, yeah, like, it's not crazy difference between all these people. We're all human. It's just, you know, maybe they get the consistency better than you do. So trying to improve, trying to better yourself all the time, and that's the kind of main purpose, I think, really.
Awesome. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, Felix.
Set a like goal for the video.
If we hit this goal, we'll get you in at NTC and we'll play a practice set in one of my practices. I want to see 25,000.
25,000.
Is that too much? Is that too much to ask?
It'll be like the most likes on a video ever.
All right, well, let's go for it.
Let's go.
If they want to see a practice, if they want to see a set, then we'll go 25,000.
All right, you heard it, guys. Let's make this happen.
Let's do it.
And yeah, awesome.
Cheers, Felix.
Cheers. Yes, guys, so I thought that was a pretty interesting video. I think overall, it wasn't the conditions that we asked for. You can see it's crazy windy now. We had this plan for over a year, so I was really looking forward to giving you guys a bit more than, from a points perspective, you know, what we did. But I thought it was a great experience, even from just kind of hitting. You could feel like, I don't know, I felt under a lot of pressure from, like, Jack could kind of do anything at any point. Make sure you smash that like button because I really want to get a full set against him. But overall, I really enjoyed myself. I think even though it is windy, sometimes it shows you that, you know, you've got to make the best of a situation, and, you know, the best players, they adapt. You know, he was utilizing the slice really well. I was very tight, and so was he. I mean, he double faulted, and at the end of the day, it was also good to get some insight from him onto, you know, his journey and his perspective, which I think was very mature, if I'm honest. It's interesting to see how someone at that level, at my age, kind of thinks. Gonna head back now, get out of this wind. I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe not exactly what I had planned for you guys, but nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.
And so that's Jack Draper crossed off the list as well. 2 of the 100 players are complete. Now, both didn't go my way, unfortunately, but in pretty tough conditions. And if you want to see a full match with me and Jack in ideal conditions, potentially on grass, then please smash that like button. I'd love to make that video for you guys and really get some revenge for this tiebreak loss. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.
Put your money on the backseat.